परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् 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 परमशिवोऽहम्
Jnanapatati Manual, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadushnam Tattvamasya Lakshmam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions.
Your chemicals and hormones.
Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing with life. Playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now, beautifully, Bhagwan explained what is power manifestation, raising your frequency, making everything as your reality, whatever you desire into your reality, living as superconscious being on planet Earth. It's a science because millions have experienced that, and each one of us can experience that. Science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. The pramanas, the pramanas are the evidences which gives us the cognitive shift just by listening to these pramanas. The Shastra Pramana, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures as Vedas and Agamas. The Apta Pramana, experience and the results of Aptas. Aptas are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas, Yogi, Yoginis, Bhairavas, Rudras, Rudrakanyas, all of them, even the emperors, even the Grahasthas, manifested all the powers of Paramashiva, and all were authority of Hinduism, and they were the Vedic rishis who manifested all these greater signs into truth. And they were authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Parameshwaram, this millennium avatar's personal experience of our manifestation. Bhagavan's very own Leela to showcase to the world to having a cognitive shift and living as a superconscious being. There is a Leela that he manifests, and in all of us that he manifests as Shakti. Shakshi Paramana, the experience of the millions of disciple devotees, followers all around the world, initiated by Bhagwan into the science of our manifestation. Bhagwan beautifully says, whoever comes to the Kailash, courtyard is like a Garbha Mandir, where everything becomes reality. When you are in such a oneness space with Paramashiva, simply becomes reality out of the initiation. We don't have to do anything else. Just being in the presence of the Guru, at the feet of the Guru, simply we become the reality, consciousness. Paramashiva becomes our reality. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. What happens to our brain when we start manifesting these powers? What happens to our brain when we start listening to the powerful cognition? Bhagavan beautifully says the very DNA changes, the molecular structure starts changing to the higher definitions, dimensions, and simply grasp the higher reality as our reality. Living as a superconscious, super intelligent being, the prefrontal cortex becoming active and attracting the highest possibility as our reality. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana for the power of depth dimension is taken from Shiva Sutra. Shastra Pramana, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures. Here the scriptural reference is from Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.16. For the power of depth dimension.
तत्त्वसन्धानाद्वा अपशुशक्तिः
Shiva Sutra.
Beautifully, Bhagavan says in this sutra, Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.16, by fixing the self and aiming at the pure essence, cognizing from the depth of one's being that all that exists is Paramashiva, the pure essence, and attaining and uniting with that pure essence and existential reality, Paramashiva, he experienced Paramashiva and manifests Paramashiva's infinite powers. Bhagavan Paramashiva has beautifully given us the powerful cognition how we exist beyond all that we understand as time. What we are bound by the time is only the materialistic world. And beyond that, there exists, if we understand the higher reality, the Nitya Sattva, simply we can experience the higher reality. Bhagavan beautifully says, as long as you're stuck with the Nirantara Tattva, you are still in delusion and you have all the ups and downs of life. When you experience the full thing, Nitya Tattva, where you understand the full picture of completion. What is completion? Bhagavan says, essence of completion is making something redundant. If something happens in your dream, when you wake up, you are complete about that. You do not take that into your life like you get into an accident. You don't go to a doctor when you wake up. You know very well that the whole thing doesn't even exist, and you are very complete because you know it is just a projection of some random thoughts. Because of this powerful cognition, you do not fight with it, you do not sit and brood over it, you do not feel incomplete. Same way, when we wake up from this reality that whatever is in the materialistic world is not what we are bound by, but we are the Nitya Tattva, the Nitya Sattva, Satya, that all that exists is beyond the time that who we exist as Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifesting in each action is the pure form of who we are. Getting deluded into any identity is not us. In any identity, we feel only violated, hypocrisy, life is a hypocrisy. We feel all the ups and downs of life from the outer world, the greed, fear, everything. But when we understand Paramashiva is real, consciousness is real, and from that space, even I drink water, from that space, even I walk, even that space, the Paramashiva is real. From that space, I am experiencing everything, then everything becomes auspiciousness, abundance, bliss, and continuously melting in the presence of Bhagavan. Deep gratitude and deep oneness becomes our reality. And that becomes the Nitya Sattva, where we become the oneness with Paramashiva, ultimately experiencing all the greater reality. The oneness with Paramashiva manifests as our reality and experiencing Paramashiva as our reality. So beautifully, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa puts his hand into the wall to show Swami Vivekananda that everything that exists does not have to be the materialistic world. Bhagavan beautifully says how the sound binds us to make us understand what we are seeing, and what it is in actual is much more subtler, where if you understand the subtler space, you are in complete completion, waking up to the higher reality. And Paramashiva beautifully says how we can experience that by just initiation of the Guru and be in the pure space of attaining and uniting with the pure essence and the existential reality. Paramashiva, he experienced Paramashiva, and Paramashiva is the infinite power of the reality that we experience as our reality. Beautifully, Bhagavan gives the pramanas, the apta pramanam of how the sound they were able to use, the conch that they used in Mahabharata for the war, all the conch that this was used in the early days for even the puja, before the start of the puja, end of the puja, conch is supposed to be blown. All this greater science was available to humanity because we were in such a highest vibrating space. Now, again, we can experience all this greater truth as a reality if we understand how these great things are part of a life. Bhagavan says how the higher and the lower frequency can be heard by a human ear. If you see the bats, normally they say the bats live in a dark place. That is not true because bats live in most of the temples, and some temples are completely in bright light because bats do not understand light or darkness, but they understand the sound better. They can experience the frequency, the higher frequency, and simply they are in the places where the higher frequency. Most of the temples in India have bats, and even the Gurukulam of the Balasans in India have bats, and they are not the bats which are going to be hurting anything, but they just come during the chanting and disappear. They are all great siddhas as happening and blessings for the humanity. And simply they are in the places where the frequency is very high, not just the audible sound, but much more than the audible sound. These great things are available to all of us that we can hear much deeper and experience much deeper sounds. Bhagavan beautifully explains in the Atma Pramana, the higher dimension, the Panchakritya of Paramashiva. Just by experiencing the Panchakritya of Paramashiva, the higher cognitions, we can understand that everything that exists is Paramashiva, the reality, the Nitya Sattva that Bhagavan beautifully explains.
Back in Samadhi. This whole flow is Shivanyana. This whole flow is Paramashivanyana. Listen. Anyone understands this whole flow is liberated immediately. Liberation happens by understanding of this simple knowledge. It's too simple. That's the most beautiful thing. It's too simple. You understand how the car functions. Any automobile. There will be shaft through which power is transmitted into gearbox, and different gears are there, which is connected to the wheel, which actually moves the vehicle. Those gears come and get connected to the power gear. So understand, the power gear is the cosmic logic. Paramashiva, Parameshwara. When the gear is rotating, this each gears which empowers the wheel. Sometimes only the front two wheels are powered. Sometimes all four wheels are powered. This gears which connected to the wheels come and get connected to the power gear and move the vehicle when the vehicle need not be moved, or the speed need to be increased. That means the gears need to be changed. This gear which is connected to power gear moves out. Either the other gear comes and gets clutched, or if the vehicle need to stop, no gear comes and the whole vehicle just stops. Understand this principle. The power gear, the source power gear is Parameshwara, Paramashiva. The individual gears which comes and gets connected is individual soul, binary logic. You, Pashu. Pashu gets empowered by Pati. Sometimes Pati empowers Pashu. Sometimes Pati maintains the speed of the Pashu. Sometimes Pati withdraws from Pashu. Sometimes Pashu starts getting deluded. It has its own independent supernal effulgence without getting connected to Pati. Then sometimes Pati liberates Pashu from that delusion. Understand? Pashu, bound self, is binary logic of this world, this universe, empowered by cosmic logic, Parama Shiva, the source power gear. If you know when is the principle, when is the source gear empowering, and when it is withdrawing, when Paramashiva is empowering you, individual soul, when he is neutral, when he is withdrawing, when he is letting you fall into dilution and delusion, when he liberates. Understand? This simple secret is that most wonderful Paramashiva Jnana. Paramashiva is revealing in this Saranyanotragama.
Shakshi Pramana are the
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained the five Panchakritya, how it happens. And if we understand how Bhagavan explained the time, how the time before the whole thing starts, the space, and how the present and the present moving into the past moving into the past, and the past moving into the present, and the present and the present moving into the future, and the future and the future beyond the time itself that goes back again to the original self. The whole science Bhagavan is explaining again and again to make us understand how the projection of us does not any way that we experience the incompletion is not real. What we are experiencing is the consciousness projecting as different delusion. And when we understand this greater science, that it is only the consciousness which can project through us as all the states, and only through consciousness we can even experience all things. Bhagavan says, I don't use my two eyes. Even for my two eyes, I use my third eye. Through my third eye, I see the two eyes. And same thing Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, and Vivekananda says, that only through the two eyes, even through the God only, I see who the humanity is. All this again and again tells us how we are not just the matter, we are higher definition, higher consciousness. We are a frequency, vibration in higher reality, which is merging into the everything. When you look at your molecular structure, you cannot say something you have stopped and somewhere else the computer is starting or something else is starting, because everything is molecular and atom. How do you differentiate between this is your atom and this is the other atom? Everything is vibrating in a different frequency, in a different level, as merged into a unified field, and that is projected as what we see as the materialistic world. And if we understand this higher cognition, that we come into existence out of our desire, and all that we get fulfilled in the outer world, and I experience from the space that everything is Paramashiva, by his will that we are experiencing all this greater reality as our will, and simply experiencing this greater moment. Here, one of the devotee has beautifully said how when there was a sudden tantrum of her friend and she didn't know what to do, and finally when she chanted the Mahavakya, she was able to calm that person. After some time, the person not just calmed but simply revealed all that great science. The Bhagavan says, when you're addicted or when you are in incompletion, anything, just put away everything and just chant the Mahavakya. When you chant the Mahavakya, the sound energy simply raises you to the higher frequency, and you can experience the greater oneness, who you are, Paramashiva, as your reality. Today we are going to experience listening to the lower or higher sound. And you can have a tuning fork to do that, or you can have a computer play a tuning fork for listening to the lower or higher frequency. If you have tuning fork, you can see how much of it you can listen to that. And if you want to even experiment further, you can just keep the tuning fork and chant the Mahavakya. The tuning fork will start vibrating, and you can see that you can put a small thread to check whether the vibration is happening. This is to listen to the higher and lower vibration. Bhagavan says the dogs can listen. Every planet has a sound, and simply we can listen when we are in oneness with Paramashiva. An earth sound is heard by the birds, and exactly they replicate the same sound. They know the frequency of the earth and the sounds of the earth. It is said that the space produces the sound Om and the sun produces sound Om. All these are by nature how we are all aligned into the same sound and same thing that we are experiencing oneness with Paramashiva. The sound itself as matter and matter itself as experienced as the sound itself. All this greater science, when we understand and more deeper, it becomes more and more nectar. Paramashiva in his form and manifesting an Ananda Nataraja, that as Ananda Nataraja, he is dancing in each one of us. Nataraja, a cosmic dance, as Ananda Pandava in each one of us as reality. When we understand this, the greater science, how we need to exist, Bhagavan beautifully gave us the powerful cognition. Just holding that Anandan Tandava in each one of us as our reality, we will know everything is auspiciousness, because Bhagavan is auspiciousness pouring himself in each one of us as reality. When we are in deep completion, we can realize all these words into the reality. All that we need completion is making all that we perceive, how you make the dream redundant, make the whole life, including your body and mind, redundant and irrelevant. It does not exist the way we perceive. It is just a projection. If we understand, there is no meaning fighting with anything or trying to solve something, but just understanding it does not exist the way we perceive, even though it exists. Cloud does exist, but it does not touch the sky. The birds do fly there, but they do not put the footmark in anywhere in the sky. The fishes swim, but they do not put any footmark, Bhagavan says, in the water. We are in the ocean of consciousness as projected as reality, but we do not have anything that touches the consciousness. Only thing we can experience more and more consciousness, we can experience the more and more fulfillment of our desire in the outer and the inner world as our reality. Now let's experience this small exercise that Bhagavan has given as listening to the sound lower or higher. If you can use your tuning fork and listen to it, that will be beautiful, and you can record the detail through the third eye, and whatever you have experienced matches exactly, and you can manifest that as powers. But if you just have a Kundalini energy, or you just experience deep peace, oneness and bliss, you can share that also as reality. All this doesn't have words. That is why we are trying to get a form of the formless in our reality. Now let's experience that in our each one reality. A prasada from Paramashiva for each one of us is power manifestation. Let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Put away your gadgets few minutes. Bring the listening to your third eye again and again. Bring your listening to your third eye. In deep, complete completion, Bhagavan says, complete completion, that you know that everything that exists is auspiciousness, abundance and bliss. And knowing that everything is Paramashiva, there is nothing, no questions, no doubts, nothing. And unclutched from everything that exists other than Paramashiva. And be in the space of oneness with Paramashiva, that is the biggest tyaga. Again and again going back to the space that everything that exists is Paramashiva, everything that we experience as Parashakti. Sit very clearly as Paramashiva. Bhagavan beautifully says how the flight takes off. It has few minutes of the runaway. Like that, we start chanting the Mahavakya intensely. We simply go into the deep Samadhi, oneness with Paramashiva, and experience the ultimate bliss. And all that we need to do is complete completion and holding that Purnatva space. Nothing can be taken from the whole, because everything is holographic. Everything, every cell has all the information that a whole body has. And from a cell, we again multiply into another person. So all that already exists in each one of us as the greatest science. Nothing can be taken out of us, nothing can be added because we are absolute. Hold that complete completion space and chant the Mahavakya intensely with a deep listening, entangling with Bhagavan in the oneness space, and simply manifest the power of listening to the lower or higher sounds.
Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita-pur, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita-pur, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om नित्यानंद परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ 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 नित्यानंद परमशिवोऽहम् Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us.
Beautiful. Whatever you have experienced with the tuning fork, if you can record it or you can take a snap of it, or how you wanted to present, you can share it at the end of the session. We'll have one more cycle. All this greater science is available for all of us. We already exist in all the lokas. How much we are complete, we can experience that loka. For example, constantly we are struggling with our work, with our life, with our family. Then we are in Naraga already. And Bhagavan says we have the Bhutakana body and our face already there in the lower, the lokas. And if we are like a win-win and we are in Svargaloka, we have a Svargaloka body with all the jewels and we have the face of what we have right now. And if we raise to more and more completion and be in the Tyaga space, simply Tapologa, and we can experience a yogic body and the Nirvikalpa Samadhi and our own face which exists right now itself. We can experience the completion. How complete are you? How does completion change our reality? Bhagavan beautifully says when you are in the Nitya Sattva, Satya, the Nitya Satya is the one which is complete completion, not completing just for the heck of it, for the just time being, but understanding the bigger completion, who we are. We are Paramashiva. We are not even first the materialistic human being that we are thinking. How in the deep sleep you are in Purnatva, you are in complete completion. You don't have any identity that you are incomplete about anything. Even the worst is happening in your life. Even the worst of worst is happening and you take a nap, you are in the such a completion space. That very completion can be experienced consciously, when your mind just merged into the heart and you experience the deep oneness feeling connection with Paramashiva, how does this completion help you in the outer world, job, or any reality that you want? When you are in complete completion, the vibration that you attract is new possibilities, the auspiciousness, abundance. When you are doing something in incompletion, you are attracting hell more and more. Mass attracts mass. The more you're incomplete, the mind is a matter. So it will attract all the inauspicious and all the problems with us. And when we are more and more in the subtler and subtler, that complete completion, whatever we get is Paramashiva's gift. When we are in deep completion, we attract Paramashiva as our reality, which is all the abundance and auspiciousness. That is why Bhagavan is completing us first to attract the greater reality in our life. Again and again, understanding I am Paramashiva, I am not the materialistic human being that I think who I am. That is my identity projecting it, my own perception of all the problems that exist. It is just a dream. What dream material you have in the dream, what is made, the material that which is made, the same material I'm experiencing now, what I'm experiencing now is also a dream. Completely, when you understand you are Paramashiva projecting whatever is happening, you will project all the greatest auspiciousness and abundance. When you understand you are Paramashiva, you're not visualizing, thinking you are Paramashiva. When you are a mother or a father, you don't think you're a mother or father, you are that. And then when you go to a work, you know you are an engineer or a doctor, you know that you are that, you don't visualize that. Same way, the very origin who you are is Paramashiva. When you again and again, just by deciding I am Paramashiva having this problem, I am Paramashiva drinking this water, I am Paramashiva running for my work, even if you do that, Bhagavan says the Paramashiva space that you're holding will solve all the problems and raise you into the higher consciousness. Because Paramashiva is the very reality, very origin, how you exist. That is the Nitya Satya. Beyond all that in completion, we are complete being, who we are, and just surrendering and merging into the Paramashiva space again and again at the lotus feet of the Guru in deep gratitude. We start melting in oneness with Paramashiva. We realize that we are Paramashiva in physical reality also, raising ourselves to the higher and higher consciousness. We'll have one more cycle playing with the sounds, and this is lower than the normal sound, lower frequency than the normal sound that we can hear. See, even dogs and animals can hear. Why we are not able to hear? Because we are so confused and chaotic running our life. When we in the restful awareness, we can start listening to these higher sounds which constantly exist. Bhagavan says the silence, and you just merge into the silence, absorbed into the silence. Again and again, going into the silence, you will start purifying your inner space and experiencing more and more the Paramashiva as our reality. Now, for this cycle, let's put away everything. Take the tuning fork. If you have the tuning fork, you can start either listening to the tuning fork, or you can vibrate the tuning fork just by chanting Mahavakya. Mahavakya raises your frequency to experience these higher realities. Or you can play some sounds in the computer or from the YouTube of the lower or the higher sounds and see how you can listen to these greater sounds, and how you can listen to the sounds of the planets, and how you can hear to the sounds of the Om, that is existential reality itself. All these sounds are available to us when we are in the deep oneness with Paramashiva. We can simply listen to all the sounds and raise our frequency to the higher sound, merging into Paramashiva in the oneness, in deep gratitude, disappearing into Paramashiva's lotus feet, thanking Bhagavan. Let's have the second cycle of manifesting the power of depth dimension, listening to the lower or higher sounds.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnanam Paramashivam. Om Jnanam Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nityananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashiva.
Beautiful. Whatever you have experienced as your reality, the prasada that you have received from the space of completion, share it with the world. Why should I share? Sharing is part of my manifestation because you understanding complete completion is not only your completion, but you understand the whole world that you are in. The collective integrity is the completion, complete completion. How do I experience complete completion? How do I change other person doing something? Absolutely, you are the creator of the whole scene. You can change it by having a complete completion. When you share your completion, you attract all that you want as your reality. Everyone, everything listens to you as you want. Because you are in such a completion, they simply have to listen to you. Only the incompletion gives you all the struggle that you are in. When you are in deep completion, that everything is Paramashiva, everything is auspiciousness, you are sending a message to the world that simply auspiciousness will be showered on you in form of every person. That is why when enriching and causing, you become such a beautiful space. You remember most of the gurus by the manifestation they have done, which they have told to the world, and that world has been telling us how they manifested those powers. That is the enriching and causing which you remember most of your gurus. That is the reason how we even remember so many great people. That is why Bhagavan says extreme causing is extreme manifestation is extreme causing. You start understanding the greater reality that you are infinite, and when you start sharing and causing others reality, which is infinity, simply you have to get the abundance and bliss. There is no other way, but you have to be default getting the bliss. You cause 10 people and see in whichever area you are stuck, and simply they will also be the whole thing that they will cause your reality as you can see it. That is why Bhagavan says, enriching and causing, I myself will be in you to manifest the reality. So don't forget to share in your social media or tinyurl.com/power manifestation. The more we start sharing to the world all this great space of completion and how powers, how Paramashiva is manifesting in our reality after the sessions, the initiations, the blessings, we can get grounded to more and more powers happening in us as reality. Don't forget to share all this great truth and thank Bhagwan. All that sharing is only for our expansion into the reality. That is why enriching and causing is part of power manifestation. Anything you are celebrating, cherishing will surely enrich and cause the world. Now, when you enrich and cause the world by all this powerful cognition and initiation and power manifestation, you are in tuning yourself to the Paramashiva space as reality. And simply your abundance has to happen and shower you with all the bliss, auspiciousness, and healing. So, with that, let's thank Bhagwan and surrender all this powerful cognition, power manifestation at Bhagwan's lotus feet in deep gratitude for showering all this on all of us, and thanking all of you in all the social media manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. Simple integrity, simple obedience, manifesting powers every single day. Bhagwan calls it tapas. And continuously, when you manifest powers, you grow into the deeper and deeper space of the vertical time zone. So, thank each one of you being here, collective integrity, collective consciousness happening so beautifully. And with this, holding a deep earning, Paramashiva is real in my thought, word, and action. Seeing everything as Paramashiva, everyone as Paramashiva, as my reality, holding that as my powerful cognition, having the complete completion that Bhagwan has showered on each one of us today, holding that space, ending the session with the Purna Mantra. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम तत्सत् सर्वं भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवं पादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ Nityanandam. Thank you so much. The next session will be after the next darshan or initiation, and we'll see you then after the next initiation. Thank you, Nityananda.